Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger shedding light on his political future after, of course, announcing he would not seek re-election.
And WGN political reporter Taman Bradley is here with more now.
Ray and Dina, Adam Kinzinger's next chapter will not be in elected politics. He's decided against running for Senate or governor. And on the eve of the January 6th anniversary, the congressman announced he's taking the fight to far-right extremism.
To this day, too many politicians have chosen lies over truth, anger over progress, fear over hope, and division over unity.
In this new video, Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger, a leading Trump critic, vows to work full-time against extremism in his party, and he's calling out conspiracy theories, misinformation, and lies.
The 2020 election was not stolen. Joe Biden won, and Donald Trump lost.
Congressman Kinzinger, who is not seeking another term in the House, serves on a committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
Some say it's time to move on from January 6th, but we can't move on without addressing what happened or by pretending it never happened. We can't move on without taking action to make sure it never happens again.
The House panel probing the attack is investigating former President Trump's role, but Trump remains popular among the GOP. Last fall, a Pew Research poll found 2/3 of Republicans and Republican-leaning independents wanted the former president to remain a major political figure. Pat Brady is the former chair of the Illinois Republican Party.
Donald Trump convinced a lot of the folks in the Republican Party that this extremism is okay and that the election wasn't valid, which is not true. And I think that's somewhat fading out, but I think as a party we need to get back to the issues that Republicans do well on.
Brady, a moderate Republican, hopes Kinzinger's message connects.
I think fundamentally, most Americans are very decent people and recognize the value of our institutions, the Congress, the presidency, the Constitution. I think that message resonates with a lot of people.
GOP political operatives say privately Kinzinger is clearly going to run for something down the road, and this new project may be a way for him to lay the groundwork for a presidential campaign. Dina and Ray.
Oh, there you have it. Thank you, Taman.